The subjective nature of morals, a human perspective. Morality is often framed as a universal code, an unshakable set of rules etched into the fabric of existence. Yet when we peel back the layers, it becomes clear that morals are far more fluid, deeply personal, and shaped by the individual and the perceiver. They are not handed down from on high, but forged in the crucible of human experience. Subjective, evolving, and rooted in our capacity to feel, reflect, and choose. Morals as a mirror of the mind. What one person deems moral, another might condemn as unjust. Consider a simple act, taking food from a store without paying. To a starving person, it's survival, a desperate bid to stave off hunger. To the store owner, it's theft, a violation of trust and property. Both perspectives carry weight, shaped by context, need, and perception. Neither is inherently correct in an absolute sense. Instead, morality reveals itself as a lens through which we view the world, colored by our circumstances, upbringing, and values. This subjectivity doesn't render morals meaningless. It makes them dynamic. They adapt to the individual, reflecting their unique struggles, insights, and priorities. A soldier might see honor in following orders, while a pacifist finds virtue in resisting violence. Both are moral in their own eyes, yet their principles clash. The perceiver's role is just as critical. A community might laud the soldier as a hero and shun the pacifist as a coward, or vice versa, depending on its collective values. Morals, then, are less a fixed truth and more a conversation, one that shifts with every voice added to it. Beyond faith, morality, without a divine anchor. For centuries, religion has claimed a monopoly on morality, with many arguing that without faith, God, or Scripture, humans would descend into chaos. But this overlooks a simpler, more universal foundation: the human capacity to understand pain. You don't need a sacred text to know that a punch hurts, that betrayal stings, or that loss leaves a void. These sensations are the raw materials of morality, and they require no divine intervention to teach us right from wrong. A person who has felt pain and who hasn't can imagine it in others. This empathy, this visceral recognition of suffering, is enough to guide behavior. To be moral, in this sense, is to choose not to inflict harm, not because a deity demands it, but because you've walked in those shoes, or can at least picture them on your feet. It's a practical ethic, born from lived experience rather than cosmic decree. A child who comforts a friend scraped on the playground doesn't need a sermon to know it's the right thing to do. She sees the tears and acts. This isn't to say religion can't inspire morality. It often does, offering frameworks that resonate with millions, but it's not the sole source. An atheist can be just as compassionate, just as principled as a devout believer. Their moral compass might point to minimizing suffering, fostering joy, or building a fairer world. Goals that stand on their own, without needing a higher power to prop them up. The many faces of pain and the moral response. Pain isn't just physical, it's emotional, social, even existential. To gossip and ruin someone's reputation inflicts a wound as real as a slap. To hoard wealth while others starve creates a slow, grinding agony. Recognizing these forms of harm expands our moral horizon. A person who knows what pain is doesn't stop at avoiding fists or knives. They consider the ripple effects of their words, their silence, their choices. This awareness fuels a morality that's active, not passive. It's not enough to refrain from harm. It's about easing pain where you find it. Giving a stranger a kind word, sharing resources, or simply listening, these acts spring from the same root: a refusal to let suffering spread unchecked. No commandments are needed, just a quiet resolve to leave the world a little less broken than you found it. The beauty of subjective morality. If morals are subjective, some might fear a free-for-all, a world where anything goes. But subjectivity doesn't mean arbitrariness. It means responsibility. Each of us must wrestle with our values, test them against reality, and refine them through experience. It's harder than following a rulebook, but it's also more human. We're not puppets of a universal law. We're creators of meaning, sculpting our ethics from the clay of life. And here's the paradox. This individual journey often leads to shared ground. Most of us, regardless of faith or culture, recoil at cruelty, value kindness, and seek connection. These aren't divine edicts. They're the natural outgrowth of beings who feel, think, and coexist. You don't need God to tell you not to hurt others. You just need to know what it's like to be hurt. From that seed, morality blooms, subjective yet universal, personal yet collective, a testament to our shared humanity. By Scott Young, aka Sinfamous Gamer.